Check. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, guys. What is happening? Live from Vegas. Drove by the Sphere yesterday and Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders were playing yesterday. So get in about midday here. Long day of travel. It seems like going anywhere from Maine takes 12 hours. I guess I'm in the hotel room backdrop. Hope you like it. How we doing, guys? Post in the chat. How are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10 today? See if anybody jumps on Instagram and says hello. Got a little hotel desk set up. Let me know if you can hear me all right. All that jazz. Let's see here. Where are the comments, if any? There's Bubba Hogan. How much is that hotel room per hour? Well, I could do the math. Good morning, Matthew. Locke Johnson coming in. I used his picture and likeness today for my promo. I hope you don't mind. Good morning, Catherine. How are you? Oh, the TV just came on. I don't know what's going on around you. Good morning, Roy. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. That's what Wendy was saying to people at Thanksgiving. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, Yin. Good to see you. What's going on? Yeah, nothing but the best. Yeah. Funny thing, Steve had a couple of hotel rooms reserved, and then because I got here, they didn't know who I was. So, like, can't you just call him? Oh, no, we have to verify. I go, here's his number. Give him a call. Like, no. I sat in the lobby for a bit, and then I walked back up. I said, I'd like to rent a room. That took care of it. Shoot. I know, Locke, you're going to own me now. A permanent record of me using your likeness. But your wife put the name in, so. Oh, no, wait, I did, actually. So, I mean, we're in trouble now. We're partners. Good morning, Dan Bennett. How are you? Good to see you. Argentina coming in, same time. Yeah. Going to be a great week, guys. We're starting out today by heading over to see Alex Hormozzi's team at acquisition.com. And I don't know if we'll see Alex or not. I think so, but that'd be kind of cool. So it's a good opportunity to see how the big boys do it. So it's going to be fun. Full day. Of course, that's in 3.5 hours. up early. Early for here, but not for me because I'm with you guys on the East Coast. Some of you guys that are jumping in are East Coasters. And so 8 o'clock there and 5 a.m. here. Dave Davis coming in. And Dave, now I know how you feel getting up so early to do this, right? Dave from Denver. Good morning, Wendy. I miss you too. Went down to the lobby and got a real coffee this morning. They had some going. So it's just a big hotel of 400 rooms or so. So, I mean, one carafe should do it, right? Yeah. Good morning, Dave Brackett. Good to see you. By the way, that was Zach. Oh, I did write Juan, didn't I? Yeah, I got, but they both work for you. So I don't know. You know why I did that? Because I had just sent a friend request to Juan, and I had Juan on my mind, and then I typed that. So I hope Zach doesn't see that. Oh, there he is. Shit. No, I'm in trouble all over the place this morning. We're just getting started. Oh, well. The intent was there. Well, good morning, guys. Tony Ruffin's coming in. Yeah. Yeah, good deal, Tony. I appreciate it. Let me get Tony on the Summit podcast. Yeah, thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. You guys straighten me out. It's hard to slide one by you. So, how was the weekend, everyone? Pretty good? Anybody do anything great? Do something for someone else? Make a little impact? Victor Anthony is here. Good to see you, my man. Yeah. Got the coffee going. Got my, I'm all showered up, ready to go. Gonna go business casual today over there. I don't know how many people will be there, but should be fun. So going to acquisition.com. So I think probably Alex Hormozzi will probably come in for a cameo. Maybe he'll speak. I don't know. So Friendsgiving and a Christmas thing with one of my clients. Yeah, perfect. Wrap that stuff up all in one day, right? I was asking Bailey that when she was home. I said, do you want to just next year just hit Christmas and Thanksgiving early too? Out the door. She rolled her eyes. Not ready for that yet, I guess. So, welcome, guys. I wanted to do something on pre-qualification today. Day 2 of the contractor sales playbook. Got the ears low and sporting the white walls. Like it. Yeah. When did I go? Friday, I guess it was. Yeah. I remember my grandfather used to get a haircut every Saturday morning. He would take us up when he had us with him. Go to see Bob the Barber. But I remember that. Now I realize that getting older, I'm like, I like to keep her trimmed up tight, Bubba. Like a good tight chop. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the power of pre-qualification today, guys. Not every lead is your lead. Okay. We chase a lot of things we don't need to chase. Anybody guilty of that? Yep. Yeah, Dave loves getting his haircut. Yeah, it's the only day of the week you look decent. Just kidding. Got that white stuff going, the cotton top. The good thing, Dave, is you get into all the senior citizen discount stuff, which works out well for you. Yeah, you look good for 70. Just kidding. Love you, buddy. Yeah, guys, if you want to sell like a professional, you got to protect your time like a professional. And I'm not talking about just ignoring people and saying, I don't do that, like that kind of thing. But chasing every single person who calls or messages or emails is a fast way to burn out. It's a fast way to waste hours, waste your time, lose confidence, stay stuck. It never grow. You end up, all of a sudden, your freedom's gone, okay? The pros, people that are good at this stuff, pre-qualify. And the amateurs chase. And I get it. If you're just starting out, somebody calls you like, oh, wow, somebody called me. I got an opportunity. I'm going to jump in my truck and go see. That's all good. But once you have some momentum, once you have things moving, you have to start protecting your time. I can remember at times when I was doing it where if somebody sent me a message and said, hey, can you come look at something? I was just feeling so blessed that someone called me, and I'd get my cape out of the closet, tie it on, and fly across town and spend an hour and a half, 2 hours in somebody's front or backyard or in their kitchen, maybe even on a Sunday afternoon, tap dancing for them and playing from behind, so to speak, hoping I would just get the opportunity, right? But not many of those things turned into real jobs. Not many at all. I mean, I drove everywhere, met everyone, wasted hours every week. I looked at it, I kind of wore it as a badge of honor, right? I looked at a lot of work we looked at a lot of work, but it created a lot of work. And I did all the proposals and got them out only to find out a lot of them weren't ready. Yeah, we're going to get to that in a second, Locke. They didn't have a real budget or the husband, wife didn't agree or they were just shopping. Yeah, we're collecting estimates. Or my husband told me to get a few numbers, or my wife said to see what it would cost. Yeah, at least not good ones, right? Yeah. People weren't serious. They just a lot of times wanted free advice. Hey, let me ask you, what would you do here? How much would it? I was thinking about doing this myself. Doesn't value my work, right? Good morning, Richard Nordheim. Be patient, young grasshopper. Yes, he's chomping at the bit. But guys, once people were like looking for the cheapest guy or free advice, all that stuff. Once I started pre-qualifying, everything changed. And Richard's on here, Bubba's on here. You guys know what I'm talking about. My confidence went up. My closing rate went up. I was getting jobs. My calendar got lighter with the things that I didn't know we're gonna pay. my revenue went up, and isn't that what we're doing, right? So pre-qualification isn't about filtering people out. It's about protecting your energy, your time, and your business. Okay, it's not about walking around being boastful. We don't work for everyone. People are lucky to have my time. It's not that at all. It's got nothing to do with ego and everything to do with running your business, not letting it run you, and also having time for maybe your family and your life. Okay, because every site visit costs you gas, costs you time, costs you mental energy. And other opportunities, it's opportunity cost to it, right? And then on the back end, it just creates a pile of work that now you've got to do. Now you're putting these things out, and maybe you didn't even ask about budget. Okay. So if you're spending 10, 15 hours a week driving around to people that were never going to become clients, you're not selling smart. You're just surviving. Yeah, Dan, I used to be the king of giving free advice. It's self-serving, right? Like it makes us, somebody needed to know something. I knew the answer. I told them, Oh, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Yeah, to a point, right? The pre-qualification process ensures you meet with the people who are actually ready, or at least they've checked a few boxes. Okay. Yeah. Especially when it comes to friends. Matt, that could be another whole day of talking about that, working with friends. So the best prospects always show up with a few things. Interest. Okay. They have a clear need. Okay. And they're leaning in. Okay. They show up with intention. They're ready to move forward in a reasonable time frame. Okay. And they have investment. Okay. They're able to invest. They have a realistic budget for the work. So if even one of those things is missing, it's probably a bad lead. Okay. Interest, intention, investment. Okay. Scratch that down. You might need it later. So Locke, here's what we're going to get into how you pre-qualify. And don't change, don't make like a wholesale change to your process right now. Just try a few of these things. These word tracks should be in your quiver of arrows. Okay. This should weaponize you. Okay. And these are some that I've come up with from other groups that I've been in, or role playing with people like Bubba and Dan and Richard and many of the people on this thread. Okay. And you make them your own. And there are 5 questions, but I don't want you to just read them script style. Okay. So you're just working down through. These are conversation starters. You may only ask one of these questions and it may head you off in a direction on your sales call. Bubba, there's very few things you say that I argue with, but I'll agree with that. Yeah. Hey, so you're on the phone, right? They call, right? I used to just talk the whole time, like I'm doing right now. So I found something perfect. Nobody can talk back at me. Hey, tell me a little bit about your project, and then ask yourself this: are they clear? Do they have a plan? Do they know what they want? Well, I don't know. We were kind of thinking about a garage, It's probably not a solid lead. You need to do more work. You're certainly not jumping in your truck at that time. So tell me a little bit about your project. Is a very great, very good question to start with. Another one, work this in. What's the ideal timeline for getting started here? It's going to indicate whether they've even thought about when they're going to start this project. Yeah, Dan says ramp up. Inside the Rosenberg group, you can find out what that's all about. What's your ideal time frame to get started? Well, and you could reframe that, and you could reword that. Hey, when are you thinking about doing this? Wow, it's Jesus, November now. Is this something you're thinking about before the end of the year? Anything like that? Are they ready in weeks, or is this maybe someday? Okay. This next one can go a bunch of different ways. Do you have a budget in mind for the project? That's better than, hey, what's your budget? How much money you got? Right? Be careful with that one. That can be asked a bunch of different ways. Do you have a budget in mind for the project? If they say no idea, they're probably not serious. They're going to duck that one anyway, most of them. But the way that I've asked it for is like, wow, this is a pretty substantial project. Have you had any discussions around budget? I didn't really ask the budget, did I? But you're going to learn a lot when you ask that question. Man, have you thought about what something like this might cost? Have you thought about what kind of investment this might be? Be careful, right? You can use cost, you can use investment, you can use expense. They all come across differently, right? So words matter, guys. Hey, just curious, have you ever done a project like this before? What's that going to tell you? Whether if they're an experienced remodeler or addition person, or whether they built. They say, yeah. Then the question off that is, man, how did that go? Tell me a little bit about that. Oh, the contractor was sucked and whatever. Oh, wow. Okay. So the guys, inside our Rosenberg group, we do some role playing. We build off of all these. Okay. Last one, number 5. Who else is going to be involved in the decision making here? Another way to ask that is, hey, who else is excited about this project? Because if you're talking with one of them, I can tell you 95% chance you're not getting a decision. You're certainly not getting that job that day. Okay. Because that avoids the dreaded, like, I need to talk to my spouse. Okay, if they waffle or hesitate on any of these questions, it's going to tell you a lot. Maybe it's going to tell you everything. So just some simple questions. Tell me a little bit more about your project. What's your ideal timeline for getting started? Have you given any thought to what the investment here might be? Have you done a project like this before? Hey, who else is going to be involved in the decision making here? Yeah, love it. And go, guys. Those I've kind of tweaked for my language, if you want, vernacular. But say them, let them roll off your tongue. If you're driving down the road in your truck, make sure these words come out of your mouth easily. Okay, if it's not comfortable for you, role play it. Get with somebody and work on it. Okay. Remember, you're interviewing them too. Okay, that shift can change everything, right? You're not trying to earn the job. You're probably going to eat next week if you don't get this job. Okay, you're evaluating whether they're a good fit for you. Pay attention, because if the red lights are going off, if you're hearing, oh yeah, yeah, we're just collecting estimates, or oh yeah, I could probably do this myself, but I just don't have the time. Or well, you're not going to buy the materials and like mark those up, are you? I mean, if you're hearing those kinds of things, they just kind of tuck them in your back pocket. Okay, I'm starting to get a picture here. Okay, ask yourself, do I want to work with this person? Do they respect my process? Okay, and just kind of take a look at who you're working with, how they speak. I used to look at too, like if I get the husband and wife, and this was just my personal thing because it used to piss me off. If the husband didn't let the wife speak or didn't show respect, like if he was outwardly disrespectful in this interaction, I wasn't going to work for him, because if that's the way he treats his wife, how's he going to treat me? So, yeah, ask yourself if they respect your process. Ask yourself, do they understand the value that you bring? And did you communicate it well? Do they feel like trouble? What's your gut say? Yeah. Locke, I hope that was helpful. Ask yourself these questions, guys. How much time do you waste every week? Or how much time did you waste last month on bad leads? Look back. Look at your calendar. They're there. Hey, meet with John Smith at 2:00 on Thursday. How did that go? And be honest. Did you get the job? Look at everything that you did last month, where you went, what kind of time you spent, how many miles you drove. And it's not just the trip there and back. It's the time before preparing, the time after preparing a proposal for somebody that just might be collecting estimates. Okay. Get better. Ask yourself, what questions do you need to get better at asking before your next site visit? Bob says evaluate daily, every afternoon. Yeah, perfect. And know this, guys, know what kind of clients drain you, right? If I get I'm sorry, no disrespect to you engineers out there, but if I get an engineer, because I'm a D and an I, if I get that SC guy or the CD guy, I'm not going to love that. He's going to eat my lunch. Probably better to move on. Okay. What kind of clients energize you? Who do you like being around? I mean, you own your own business. When you rather work for somebody that you like and enjoy, you don't want to end up in a scuffle, so to speak, right? So pay attention to where, who you're interacting with, what's going on. Scope out the situation. I had a guy once, I pulled into his driveway and he kind of came out. He was a good sized dude and he was a firefighter. It was just him. And the house was not in great shape and the garage was trashed, stuff laying all over the driveway. And I get out and he was kind of like immediately like right up on me. And then his kid came out, his son, probably 12, 13, 14 years old. And the guy was telling me about the garage and all this. And the kid said something. He goes, "Hey, I'm busy here," or something. And he kind of just shut his son down like that. And I just kind of went, and right at that moment, like nothing else, I didn't hear another word of that whole interaction. I stayed maybe another 5-10 minutes and asked him some of these questions and just politely worked my way out of the driveway. What I really wanted to do was knock him out because I could tell he's just a bully. But you see a lot of things when you're in people's homes or in people's driveways. We're talking about them inside getting up personal, like with their life. Nothing's wrong with the C's, Matt. Yeah. Yeah, that was that, my dad. Thanks anyway, but I don't think we're a good fit. You guys have heard me tell the story when we were down 2 levels down in the basement of this house. And this lady was asking us, my dad and I were looking at the job together. And the lady said, no, you're not going to. She wanted to have her college age daughter and her friends stay there while we did the job. And she's like, no, you're not going to go to like Home Depot or something and buy it like a door and then mark it up $30, are you? And one of us said, yeah, we actually, we most certainly are. I mean, that's how we keep the lights on in the office. Oh, well, there. And then all of a sudden, I remember my dad had his notebook. He had it kind of crossed on his chest, and he just put his hand out like that. He said, I think I can save us both some time here. I don't think we're a good fit. In the basement. So then, she got a little mad at. She was chewing our butts up over the stairs. We got back in the truck, and geez, didn't we laugh. Then there was the guy that threw us out. He was crazy. We quoted a job for him and went back to talk to him about it. And we're in his basement, and I go in the bathroom. He's like, it's not going to take 3 hours to do that vanity. Right. And I said, well, I mean, it is what it is. He goes, you know what I think? I think you two are a couple of fucking assholes. So he goes, you need to get the fuck out of here. I go, okay. I was looking for a quick exit out of this guy's walkout basement. And I don't know, he was going to get shot, It's like bipolar or something. So you run into some interesting people, but when they play their cards early like that, it's very easy to pre-qualify. So those are a couple of people that pre-qualified themselves. And unfortunately, both were on site. So if I look back and think about it, there were probably some signs where we may have been able to say, we're, I don't think it's a good fit, or we're not going to be able to offer a proposal on this project at this time. They can fill in the blanks if they want. If they push you on that, you can get more specific, but you don't ever want to be contentious with people if you can avoid it. Yeah, Rachel, literally, we went up over the hill. We were down like the walkout basement. I couldn't get in the truck fast enough. So that was a classic. And we've got a few from the days of, we used to go to look at the jobs together, which is probably not a bad idea when you're about to get shot. Yeah, that guy was a piece of work. So anyway, guys, there's some stuff on pre-qualifying. Okay. Don't chase. Okay. Ask those 5 questions, make your own 5 questions, have a script. Don't read down through it, work from it, and just work it into the conversation and get better at that back and forth and asking those open-ended questions that are going to give you the information that you need to know. Professionals, pros, don't chase. They don't waste time. They don't run out the door with for anyone with a pulse. Okay. They pre-qualify, they protect their time, and they sell smarter, not harder. Okay. So drop a fist pump in the chat if this one helped you. I see Bubba's here, so we'll get a couple of feet in there as well. Locke says we need an after-hours trauma dump for all the contractors. Need to share their crazy client stories and cry each other's on. Yeah. Yeah. One of my other favorites, my dad's on here, so I'll share this one as well, was the guy that we built a garage for. And I actually never stepped on that job site. He handled the whole thing. We were very busy, and I think it was, hey, I think we can take this job and we can make good money on it. I'm like, if you handle it, it's all subs anyway, so go for it. And so he called me one day. He's like, hey, he goes, so we were done, and there was a pile of returns, a pile of material that needed to get picked up and go back to the job site, back to the lumber yards for credit, right? Because we send extra. They'll send 20% more 2x4s or 2x6s or whatever it might be. And so we sent in our area, it's called Hancock Lumber. We sent the Hancock Lumber truck, boom truck up to get the returns. And the guy backed in the driveway, and the homeowner came out and he said, what are you doing? I'm just picking up the returns. He goes, those are mine. And he threw the guy out of there. And I don't know if he ended up leaving or not. They called my cell phone. I called my dad and said, the guy. So he ended up talking to him and saying, no, those are not yours. The garage right there that we built for you, that's yours. What we put into it, what we send extra for things, material, that's ours. So it was pretty contentious there for a minute. I think he had his eyes on building himself a shed with the extra materials. And so again, it goes back to like pre-qualifying, know who you're working for, know how they're going to respond. Ask yourself when you're in front of somebody, could I have a disagreement with this person and get through it, not hate each other? So I think we did a pretty good job of that over the years, staying out of court, not getting shot. Maybe had to get called a few names here and there, but we got cried on, had to hug a few people, that kind of thing. So, I always said I was going to write a book about it when I was done, and the title was going to be "Reasons I Can't Come to Work Today." Anyway, guys, you get me going on contractor stories for a while. I hope it was helpful. Pre-qualify, protect your time. Okay, you don't have to go see somebody. So have some boxes that need to get checked, right? Like my quick boxes to check were, how did they hear about me? And that could be another one of your questions. Just curious, how did you hear about us? Another one of my great questions I ask, just so I'm thinking about it, and I'll tell you, is this one can get you a lot of information. Hey, and this is early in the conversation. Hey, on the front end here, before we get too deep into this, just curious, how did I word it? Where are you at in the process? Are you just getting going, collecting information, or are you looking to jump on someone's schedule and get this done? That's a good one, because it'll tell you, oh, well, that's when they'll come clean with, well, I've got 2 guys coming over tomorrow afternoon to look at it. And that way, you know that you're one of 3. And oftentimes, if I didn't feel particularly strongly about it at that time, I might say, well, geez, I probably can save us some time here. Let me ask you another question. Is price the most important factor here? Well, yeah. Okay. Well, good. That's great. I respect that. But I know we're not going to be the lowest. So does it make sense to go any further? That's a bold statement. Could get you thrown out of the yard, but you'll have time for lunch. Anyway, guys, gamify it a little bit. Have some fun with it. Don't take yourself quite so seriously. And don't assume. I guess I'll leave you with that. Don't assume. We saw a lot of bumper stickers on cars. We pull into driveways, and that, oh boy, here we go. They'd be one side of the aisle or the other. Excuse me. And sometimes that doesn't tell you the whole story. Okay, I'll just say that some of the best people we worked for had differing political opinions, didn't live like we lived, whatever. They needed a job done. We kept it professional, get there, get in and get out and finish. And don't get too personally connected to them because that can blow up in your face. So anyway, guys, hope it was helpful. Go do something nice for somebody today. We're going over to acquisition.com. We're here in Vegas. I drove by the Sphere yesterday, or the ball, whatever that thing is. And the Allegiant Stadium is right outside the hotel where the Raiders were playing yesterday. So, but I was beat. I was gonna sneak over there and go to the game, but not enough hours in the day. So we're just here for a day, back tomorrow. And it's weird because we already had Thanksgiving, so this feels weird this week for me. So, Bubba, we don't do politics on the live. They either excuse you to the driveway or they STF you about price until it's time to actually make specific decisions about the sale itself. Locke, I'll go one deeper on that for you. Excuse me. I don't know, dry air in here today. I used to, when I asked the budget question, I would kind of follow it up. If they would kind of stammer a little bit, I'd say, look, I don't ask about budget just to kind of find out how much money you have. It's not that at all. It's more so that this is a sizable project and people don't do them every day. And I would rather that we have a little bit of understanding about what your budget is, so that, hey, I don't go put a proposal together for, if you're thinking you're going to spend 100 here and I come back with this beautiful project all designed that's 250 and it's not in your wheelhouse, you're just going to be mad at me. So I'd rather design to a budget. Does that make sense? And usually that will you'll say, well, we don't want to spend any more than 150. Okay, now I know. The question then becomes, and you could do this on your pawns. The question then becomes, how much can we provide for 150? Am I tracking right now? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, perfect. Yeah, now I know that. Now we're not going to waste anybody's time. So that's the way I do that. So doing a proposal for an existing client right now. Yeah, Dave, if I can help you on that, just shoot me a text or a video or something like that. So good stuff. Rachel, good to see you. Glad you're here. Appreciate you guys. Tony, I'll talk with you later. Juan Carlos, sorry I misrepresented you on Facebook this morning as Zach. But hey, you guys work together, so it's all good. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to go. I appreciate so many people jumping on. It's going to be a great week. I think I'll be at the airport tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure I'll be at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I think I got to go to the airport early, and I get confused on the time zone, so I'll let you know on that. But look for me at 8. If not, it'll be a rewind, and then back to the regular cadence on Wednesday when I'm back in Maine. So, guys, have a great day. I appreciate you all. Check out the links Wendy put in. I don't have enough time to go through them all again today, but check out all the people that we support, and hope you have a great day. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.